Hi, I'm Kat. I'm a tech enthusiast focused on business intelligence and data-driven product management. For this video, I'm going to show you how you can use Jupyter Notebook on doing some simple data exploration, cleaning, and doing simple multiple regressions. If you haven't installed Jupyter Notebook yet, I will put a link on the description below of another video I created about installing Jupyter. This video is for beginners who are looking for a tool where they can present their live codes, visualize their data, and explain all of them in one file. And to help me explain this better, I would be using a dataset from a Kaggle competition. This was actually a challenge suggested by a data and decision cast from my MBA, and I worked on improving it over the past weeks. Here is the dataset, the training dataset. The goal of this competition is to predict the sales price for each house in Iowa State, and the metric is evaluated on root mean squared error between the logarithm of the predicted value and the logarithm of the observed sales price. To begin, we are going to open Jupyter Notebook. And to open Jupyter Notebook, open your terminal and type in Jupyter Notebook. Here is my Jupyter Notebook. I already have the project right here. So I created the folder, and these are my codes from the last time I did the competition. I also created a subfolder here, which is called the datasets. So this is where I added the training dataset and the test dataset. For this video, I'm only gonna do the cleaning and observing file. I just want you guys to get an idea of how I use Jupyter and how I'm also gonna approach this competition initially. So the process I did for this competition was to do a data preparation before identifying multicollinearity and doing multiple regressions. It includes data cleaning and transformation, so standardizing the training set between the numerical variables and categorical variables. Cleaning up the missing data to avoid skewing the result was also another thing that I did for the data preparation. And I did log transformation, square transformation, and cube root transformation. For this part right here, this is where I imported all the libraries that I'm gonna need for the data preparation and data observation. This second box right here is where I imported the training datasets from the dataset subfolder, and I printed the train data here just so I can check if I was able to successfully imported it. And this part is where I actually did the data cleaning and transformation. So I replaced some of the cells with a different value in order to standardize it with the other cells. And I recorded some columns as string and not as integer. I recorded some numerical variables as integer and not as a float. And I replaced NAs on string variables with none. And I replaced NAs on numerical variables with 0. And I did the observation here. So I observed the numeric variables, the dependent first. I use the cleaned training data set here. So after I did the transformations here, I exported the updated cleaned data set, and imported it into the data set folder. So it creates a file with a whole new CSV cleaned data set. And yeah, I imported it here. And this is where I observed the numeric independent variables. I did a square feet transformation on some of the variables. I'm not going to explain the codes because that takes a lot of time. But if you want me to do another video about doing explanatory analysis and explaining the code, I could also do that in a different video. So the idea of this video is just to give you an overview of how I use Jupyter for data analysis. And this is where I did logarithmic transformation, cube root transformation, square transformation, just to normalize and distribute the data. And this is a part where I observe the categorical independent variables, both ordinal and nominal. The idea of this is for me to easily visualize a large data set. I also actually use Tableau on the side because I normally use Tableau if the data set that I'm looking at is really big and I just want like a quick view of how the data looks like. So yeah, this is cleaning and observing the data set of advanced regressions techniques for Iowa dataset. I will do another video on the next video. I will do the multiple regressions and I will try to do another video on doing a random forest regression. Thank you so much for watching.